I'm sure they would look at us and say we're terrible, but we're real.
When we have
This is us.
when we have dinner with the Holderness family, they're going to just look at us with pity.
That's okay.
It'd still be fun to have dinner with the
I
Holderness.
was about to say, I think we would. I think we might enjoy dinner with.
I think we would. Good morning.
Good morning. We're just discussing how this is just us in front of a camera. You don't get any of the professional.
There's no post-production. There's no nothing. This is live.
And we don't really even, mess too much with setup or anything. I mean, we try to discuss our topic, but what you see is what you get. I mean, we're not professionals.
Show prep is 3 lines. The one thing, like, the other pastor that I interact with on social media, she posted a list of, it was a bingo card, clergy COVID bingo, of all the different things. What have you done? What have you not done? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we actually could not block, one square we didn't get, one of 3 that kept us from getting a complete blackout on the card, was bought a ring light, to give the more direct light with the
as far as
video podcast.
Us, we couldn't have blacked out.
Yeah, we couldn't black out that we bought out a ring light. That we bought a ring light.
No, we have not bought a ring light.
Bought a ring light.
Okay.
LED virtual.
It might take care of some of the lighting problems.
It probably would, and I have thought about it. There may be one in Vine, actually. We might not look at that. Bought a ring light, LED virtual communion, and then there was one other, done a reverse parade or something like that, but just didn't.
Reverse parade?
Yeah, where like you go drive by people, you get a bunch of people together, go drive by people's houses.
Oh.
So.
Cool. We have talked about virtual communion. We did toss that out and tried to discuss how to make it happen.
Yes.
We just hadn't
done it.
We didn't get the logistics figured out.
As Baptists, our traditions don't really feed well with it, and our understanding.
They don't, because it's a fellowship and a joint
in
present thing. It's different for some of the more liturgical traditions where it is part of their weekly service and that kind of thing.
And we just, like I said, just didn't feel good about it. We talked about, and Doug and I talked about at church, and he was going to chat with the deacons about it, but overall the kind of the sentiment has been that's something that we do together, and that and maybe we need to revisit it, because it was one of those, that's something that we do together. And so, when we get back together, but it's now been a whole lot longer before we got back in such a way to do it. And so we may need to do it in, in both morning services or something like that. Since we've got the sealed packets, we might be able to just, anyway, think about that. Let's get on track. Meet me, O Christ, in this stillness of morning. Move me, O Spirit, to quiet my heart. Mend me, O Father, from yesterday's harms. From the discords of yesterday, resurrect my peace. Amen. From the discouragements of yesterday, resurrect my hope. Double amen. From the weariness of yesterday, resurrect my strength. From the doubts of yesterday, resurrect my faith. From the wounds of yesterday, resurrect my love. Let me enter this new day, aware of my need, and awake to your grace, O Lord. Amen.
Amen. I like that last. I like the wounds and resurrect my love being the last one, because we contemplate the discouragements and the struggles and all of that, and then realize that there are ways that we've been wounded, and we are called to love even in that. So I like that. The wrap up on that.
You can't get there. It is.
Sorry, I've done it for you.
No. So, it's Tuesday.
Yep.
We talk about work.
We do.
You had an idea of how to talk about work.
I did.
Related to kind of the challenges. Last week we talked about work, and that work was a good thing because it's part of creation. But we also made some mentions of frustrated work because of the curse. And so I think that we wanted to pick up on that. You were talking about how it's, in a way, it's like the clouds.
The clouds, yeah. I like sunshiny days. I really... or I like rain, but sometimes there are days where it just is cloudy for days and days and days, and it's just gloomy, and it doesn't produce rain, and there's no sunshine, and it's just a drudgery. And I think that sometimes, because of the curse, that's what we end up with in work. And that's actually why so many people talk about work being a four-letter word, is because there are the drudgery days. And so I think that our responsibility is to look at those drudgery days and say, okay, what do we do with them? I think we can't just ignore them, and we can't just say, well, you've got to just have a happy attitude in those days, because, I mean, sometimes you can't happy attitude it away. I mean, even people who, I enjoy my job, and there are just some days that I do not want to work.
Oh.
So I think we need to contemplate ways that we deal with the gloomy days.
And I think that probably one of them, and something you just said kind of sparked this thought, is your statement, I enjoy my job. There are days I do not want to work. And I think that sometimes we need to separate that of, okay, am I agitated with my work, or am I agitated with work? Am I just angsty and and a lot of times those attitudes, those emotions are there, and they're not sinful until we act on them or stew on them. To wake up in the morning and go, I really would rather not get out of bed today, is not a sin. But to wake up in the morning, to be perfectly able to get out of bed, to have responsibilities you're called to, and not do them, to actually do that is sinful. But to wake up and think, I would really rather stay here, that's not a sin or a wicked.
It's a good thing, because that's the way most mornings start. I have to work, and that is something, it really does start with first thing in the morning. I wake up, I really just want to stay in bed. I just want to stay in bed. But I need to transition, the best way to move past that is to quickly transition into okay, this is what I'm going to do. And think very definitively about what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up out of this bed. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to have my quiet, just walk through the steps of the day.
I'm going to drink coffee.
And, look forward to the day the day each week that I get to sleep in. But that's part of it. I hate to say, hey, just change your way of thinking and everything will be fine, because we know that that's not always true.
Right.
But for an emotionally healthy person, for an emotionally stable person, really and truly, the majority of the battle is training our thinking and training our minds to process. And when we start going down the it's just gloomy and doomy, and to focus, to retrain our brains to focus on something positive.
Yeah.
I get to go do this today.
Yeah. And I think that, you were talking about the end point on, the litany, as far as in the morning liturgy of, from the discords, from the this, from the that, from the wounds, resurrect my love. And that on itself is probably about 3 sermons worth of things to think about how being wounded makes it hard for us to love.
Yeah.
But, I was thinking about today, let me enter this new day, aware of my need. Every day, this new day, this is a new day. And it is sometimes, it is sometimes a challenge, but it is a lot about choices and thinking about thought. You can mentally pace yourself back and forth until you've worn a hole and fallen into it. There are times that, talking about mentally, emotionally healthy, there are times that you're walking along normally and you fall in a hole that is not of your own digging and not of your own making, and you need help. You need somebody to help lift you out of it. Then there are times that we pace back and forth and we worry ourselves down and we spin ourselves down. And that is what you've got to stop and say, okay, I've got this. This is what I get to do. And sometimes it involves putting in perspective. There's this part of my job that I don't like.
Well, yeah. I mean, even
there's the
jobs you love, there are going to be tasks that you don't like.
There's these aspects that I do like, and this enables that. And I think that matters. So, okay, good thoughts. Any other thoughts?
Not really. You have any other thoughts?
No.
Cool.
I like that connection to the clouds, though. The cloud. It'd be so much better if it was just, hey, it's a rainy day. It was funny yesterday on Twitter, Dr. Hayes was talking about rain in New Mexico, and they used to say, people ask, well, how much does it rain around here? Oh, just 5 or 6 inches a year. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. It would have seemed bad if you were here the day it all fell. Rain in the desert, but anyway, such is life. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. You don't have anything else, so I guess we should move on.
All right.
Y'all have a great day. She's going to read the Bible now.
I am. What were the verses again?
Well, the prescribed verses were 15 to 20, and I think it's talking about... Anyway, yeah, just read it.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to preach.
Deuteronomy 18, 15 to 20. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your fellow Israelites. You must listen to him. This accords with what happened at Horeb in the day of the assembly. You asked the Lord your God, please do not make us hear the voice of the Lord our God any more, or see this great fire, lest we die. The Lord then said to me, what they have said is good. I will raise up a prophet like you for them from among their fellow Israelites. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will speak to them whatever I command. I will personally hold responsible anyone who then pays no attention to the words that the prophet speaks in my name. But if any prophet presumes to speak anything in my name that I have not authorized him to speak, or speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet must die. Should I go ahead and finish the section?
Finish the section.
Now, if you say to yourselves, how can we tell that a message is not from the Lord? Whenever a prophet speaks in my name, and the prediction is not fulfilled, then I have not spoken it. The prophet has presumed to speak it, so you need not fear him. Ooh.
Derp, derp.
You need not fear him. That's a good... Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you that we do have sunshine. And I pray that as we go into our work and into our day, that you will help us to honor and glorify you. Help us to embrace the work that you've put in front of us. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen.